So I had an interaction this morning with a client who was looking for a COI, and I was standing in line for coffee. Walked into the coffee shop to meet with a student that I mentor, and quite literally this contractor of ours said, "Hey, I needed to see you. I need a COI for this company down the road." I said, "Perfect. When do you need it by?" He goes, "Today if you can." Awesome. Pulled up my phone, sent a message over to our service team, immediately said, "Hey, can we get a COI for this company? They need it for these people." I screenshotted their information. I sent it over. Now, that's not the typical way that a COI gets into our ecosystem, but it was a great way. Our team created a ticket, and I think they have it in their email box before I ever left with my coffee. But I want to talk about COIs from just a basic standpoint today. We get a lot of COI requests for our contractors specifically. And a lot of times those COIs or those certificate requests come with additional language or special language to help protect the general contractor or the person you're working for or with in that project. Where I want to come into this is sometimes there's some pushback and back and forth between us and our client and that cert holder or that cert requester because they're asking for specific coverages. And there are times where you may not have that coverage or that coverage is not available. We cannot, nor can any other agency, just magically make up language and just type it on top of your certificate and send it over. There has to be understanding of coverage and making sure that the coverage you have lines up with the documentation that they're requesting. If you don't, our team and your agent's team their job is to make sure we go look at that policy, have a conversation with you, the client, about the coverage they're requesting and what that would do to your premiums or if it's available. If it's not available, we need to go have a conversation with you. That's my job, is to have a conversation. What kind of revenues are you going to generate from this? Because here's what it would take to have a policy in place that would offer these coverages. Now, that's a reactive standpoint. The proactive standpoint that our team tries to do is making sure we understand any contractual obligations on the front end. If we understand what those contractual obligations are, we can make sure to offset any of that drama in the back end by making sure your policy comes with those pieces on the front end. Some of the most common pieces are waiver of subrogation or a blanket additional insured. Those two pieces offset 95% of the issues we ever have with any sort of COI request. Ultimately, my point here today is that if you're requesting a certificate of insurance and there's any sort of pushback from your agency or delay, ask some questions. Number one, why was it so difficult? If they don't have a process in place, find a new agent. Number two, do I have the coverage? If their answer is no, ask why. And it's an inquisitive question. This is not a defensive question. How come we didn't have that coverage? Is this a new operation for you? Is this a new contractual obligation? That's not an issue, and you should be able to go, okay, great. We can move forward from this. I've trusted you this many years. We can continue to trust you, and you should. If it was something that you had informed them, if this requirement is something you've done before and it was in your old documents and it's now no longer in the new one, you should have the conversation, why did that go missing? Was that savings worth us looking at those pieces? Have a question with your agent or find a new one. Number three, do you have a clearly defined process for requesting COIs and getting them to the right people, especially ones with complicated language? That special language COI actually goes through a different process in our office. We will send that through directly through our account managers, our licensed account managers in that team, to make sure that those policies match up with the language that's requesting to make sure we're protecting you, not just giving a COI that makes something up and gets you the job. Because we have seen that before when we have requests in the past, like, hey, this was their policy, this was their request, and they provided it. And there was no coverage to speak of for what they requested and what they wrote down on that COI. And that creates a conversation with me and the Department of Insurance if anything ever goes wrong. And frankly, guys, we love you, but we also love our license and we want to be able to help you and all of our clients in the future. Now, if you don't know, my name is Patrick McBride. I own the McBride Agency, and we specialize on providing a modern insurance experience for all of our clients, especially contractors, manufacturers, real estate investors. We love to work with those. We have an entire team that does home and auto insurance that can help with your motorcycles, toys, boats, classic cars, you name it. If you have any questions at all about what we said today or any questions on COIs, or if your agent isn't quite meeting the standards that you would hope for, please feel free to reach out to my agency. We would love to help in any way, shape, or form possible.